Okay, so when I was younger, um, when I was in elementary school, I would say, how old was I? I was in first and second grade, and my parents would have to, um, they would pay a bus driver to pick me up from school and go drop me off to a family member's house.
Okay.
So while I was at this family member's house, she would tell me to perform oral on her, and um,
We got another one of these stories, and I hate to hear stories like this. It's because it's like you can't even, let your child. You can't even bring your child. You can't even let your child go over their cousin's house, their grandma's house. She didn't mention which family member it was to her, but uh,
it wasn't just me. It was me and this other little girl. I was not related to her, so we weren't related to that other little girl. But her parents would also have her come to my family member's house, and she was older than the both of us, obviously, right? So she would be the one responsible for us to watch over us while both of our parents were at work, because we had got out of school and we needed somewhere to go and we couldn't just go straight home. So what she decided to do with her free time was basically force us to give her oral. Mind you, I just
ugh.
said I was in the first, second grade. This girl was younger than me. So she had to be like in kindergarten or first grade. And this is why this story is so disgusting to me, because my daughter is in first grade. So it's just like when I told this story the first time to one person like about 10 years ago, it was just nasty to me. But like, thinking about it, the fact that I have my own child and this happened to me, and it happened to someone who was younger than me, and at that time she was the age that my daughter is now, it's really sickening. So basically, she would have us each have our own days.
Oh my god.
So I had Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and the other little.
You know how traumatizing this is to be a grown woman and to remember the days. She remembers the days. Hopefully some charges was brought, you know what I'm saying? I can't stand people who be doing these to these kids, doing this to these kids, bro. This shit is just like, and then it be like your own blood, bro. You can't even let your goddamn kids go over. They got your goddamn auntie house. Remember, she didn't say which family member it was. She just said family member. But I'm just saying, I'm just speaking in general. Like, you can't even let them. You know what I mean? This is crazy.
Girl, I had Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and she had Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Mm.
So I know you guys may be asking, okay, how old was she? Where were the adults? At this time, I believe she was in high school, and her parents were obviously at work, so that's why she was old enough. So she was in high school, and she was old enough to watch over me and the other little girl. Now, to add on top of this, after all of that was happening, I remember her brother coming over to my house, and he sat next to me, and I think around this time it was like just a whole bunch of adults around in the house, like, because y'all, my house is 7 news. It's 7 channel news. Like, people are always here. Like, I don't know why in a Haitian household it's just like that, but it is. But anyway, so they were here, and he sat next to me, and he was like, come outside. And I'm like, okay. So I went outside and we went to the back of the house, and this dropped his pants, and he said, yeah.
I'm sorry she had to go through this, man. This is ridiculous.
Give me that. And don't tell nobody. So this is so disgusting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he basically had me perform oral on him too, and I couldn't tell anybody. He told me not to tell anybody. I can't really remember what the threat was, but I just remember him telling me that I shouldn't tell anybody. So now back to the sister. So this went on for like 2 years, and
So the sister nasty self probably done told her brother what she got them and the kids in there doing, and his nasty self decides to say he wants some too. Ugh. They ass need to be locked the fuck up.
I could just never tell anybody. Everything was like hush hush because I couldn't tell anybody. They told me not to tell anybody. I was young. I was scared to a certain point where I kind of started thinking that it was okay. That okay, this is normal, because I've never been exposed to anything sexual like this. Mind you, like I am young. I'm a young child at this age, and this is the first time that I'm getting exposed to any of these things, right? So like her having me perform on her and her brother doing the same thing, like it was just, I'm not gonna lie, this is traumatic. I'm laughing, but this is traumatic. This was very traumatic. And the one person that I did tell, she was like, oh no girl, you have to report this girl. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that, because she has her own kids. I'm not trying to have, her kids get taken away from her, and then it's gonna blow up in a family and yada 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 yada. But this is exactly why I have trust issues with people who are around my own kid, even her own family. Like, please baby girl, please tell me, you know. But y'all, this series is just going to get even deeper. So growing up, I have always been a daddy's little girl, and I would literally call my dad for any and everything. When I was younger, he used to work at Walmart, and I would call him and I'd be like, Daddy, I need a jump rope, I need a hula hoop, I need a bike. And he would just always come through. He would always get everything. And by the time I woke up in the morning, like, it'll be outside or it'll be in the living room. Whatever I needed, it was there. And around this time, I was like in elementary school, super young. Yeah, so anything I wanted, anything I needed, he always got it for me, right? Up until I got to 5th grade. So around my 5th grade graduation, this is when I noticed that things started to shift, and I noticed that he just became like super mean. And so it was my 5th grade graduation, and I was going into middle school, 6th grade, and I noticed that he was just like being super just mean and nasty to me. And I remember like in the 6th grade, I was going to my god sister's house because I was using her address to go to school, because the middle school where I was going to was like too far from where I live, and I had to use her address. And I remember on my way there, I had these bangles. Do you guys remember those bangles from the beauty supply stores that had like the little rhinestones in them, like the wavy ones and like the big chunky ones? Those, I had those on, and he was like, take that shit off, you're not going nowhere with them. So I said, what do you mean? He was like, take that shit off, you're not going to school with that. And I also had These little bracelets that my godmother gave me, they were like the crafty bracelets. It came in a goodie bag because I was at my other god sister's house, right, for her birthday party. And she gave that to me, and I also had that on too. And he was like, "Nah, take that off. Like, you're not going to school with that." So I was angry. I took it off. I was like, "Bro, whatever." Another incident was when I went to my god sister's house. She decided to paint my nails blue. Came home. This man just gave me the cuss out of my life. He was like, "Oh, you need to take that off. You're not going to school with that. Da 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 da." So he just like was going ballistic. So then now I get into high school, and at this point I'm like, yeah, like I'm not even gonna ask him for anything. At this point I start asking my mom for things like to get my hair done, to get school uniform, school supplies, anything like that. Like I was asking my mom now because he became mean and I hated speaking to him about anything. Shoot, I remember like there was this other time when I was in high school, and I literally got a detention because I did not have my school ID. And at this time I was catching a school bus and I had to stay after school for detention. So I had no ride back home. What did I have to do? I had to call him. I called him and I said, I got a detention because I didn't have my school ID. He was like, "Oh, why are you lying? Oh, ain't no way that you just got detention because you don't have your school ID. What did you do?" Man starts cursing me out, talking about he gonna like kick my head like a soccer ball into the wall, and just start, going crazy. Now some of y'all may be watching this and saying, "Girl, that ain't nothing. My daddy actually did kick my head into the wall like a soccer ball," right? But for me, I was not used to that kind of language because of how, I guess, like how my mom raised me, because my mom is like super soft spoken and I'm used to that kind of talk, right? And my sister and I are the same. Like we're very like to ourselves. We're introverts. We don't really speak much. We don't like the loud talking and stuff like that, right? So to me it was traumatic because it went from daddy's little girl to now this man is yelling at me and cussing me out because I want to be a girl, because I want to wear bangles, because I want to wear nail polish. So it was just like very traumatic to me. And then now you're like also cussing me out because I actually did get a detention because I didn't have my school ID, but you're thinking I'm lying. You thinking that I did something else that I didn't do, right? So all of that was just like super traumatic. Now, anytime that I needed my dad to help me with anything, he would always just badmouth me before he could even help me. So that's why I just like all in all just stopped asking him for anything. So that's why like when it came down to my car, if I needed a car repair, or if I needed an oil change, or anything dealing with my car, or anything dealing with manly things that I didn't know how to do myself, I would never ask my dad. I would always go to my uncle, and he would feel some type of way about it. Why did he feel some type of way about it? Because he wanted control, because he wanted power. He was a narcissist. He is a narcissist. He is a narcissist because he always wants control. Even down to when I got my car, he was like, "Oh, you don't even know how to buy a car." I said, "Okay, so what's in the driveway? What did I just do? Did I not purchase it with my own money? Am I not paying my own bills? Am I not paying did I not pay for my own car? Like, what did I just do since I don't know how to buy a car? Oh, because you wanted to be there, because you want to be a part of my life now, because I'm doing things that you no longer have control over, that's making you upset." To be real with y'all, yes, he has provided the roof over my head, yada 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 yada. But I did tell my mom that honestly, wholeheartedly, I would prefer to be poor and to have a loving father than to have a father like he is, because he's a trash dad, he's a trash husband. Okay, I've done witnessed some things, and yeah, like the way that he speaks to me, the way that he speaks to my mom, the way that he speaks to women in his life, period, is just the.
I was just about to say, usually, is daddy's girl, you know what I'm saying? Daddy's little girl, you know what I'm saying? Usually, daughters and dads have a good relationship, you know what I'm saying? And vice versa, the moms and the mama's boys, you know what I'm saying? But it's unfortunate that, her experience with her dad was different, you know what I mean? Um, yeah.
Disgusting. And what I also will say is, I remember one of my cousins told me this years ago. So she was going to school to be a paramedic. She stopped going because life was lifing. She had a kid, and she told me that he came up to her and he was like, why did you stop going to school? Just to lay on your back and just have kids. Yeah, the man is just very, very, very nasty with his mouth, and people gonna be like, well, why are you outing your dad? No, baby, I'm just telling my story. This is part of my trauma. This is part of my healing. And the crazy part is, this man is, supposedly a deacon at the church with this kind of heart. Now, I will say, if someone truly has the fear of the Lord in their heart, you wouldn't be acting like this. You wouldn't have this kind of heart. And for you to be like this is just insane to me. But he definitely cares about what people think about him, because everybody else is like, oh, he's such a nice guy. Oh, he gives us money. He does XYZ. He goes out his way. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's everybody who doesn't actually know who he is. And I've done told a couple of my other family members this too, and I'm like, y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know. It's an act. It's an act. Okay. But yeah, the way that he has spoken to me, the way that he has spoken to my mom, the way that he has spoken to my sister and any other woman in his life, including his own sister, which I think the only person that he was like treating well who was a woman was his actual mother. My grandmother, she passed away when I was, I believe, in the 6th grade. But other than that, yeah, like, it's just an act. But the way that he speaks to me is the reason why I've dealt with the kind of men that I have dealt with in my past.
I was just about to say, and that leads into the type of niggas that she messed with. You know what I'm saying? So it's even more unfortunate.
Me and my daughter's dad met in elementary school, actually, our 5th grade year. I think I only spoke to him maybe once, if that. I can't remember what I said. I just remember seeing him on the bus when we were on our way to our 5th grade graduation.
Oh, wow.
Now, fast forward to 2000. Okay, I can't remember what year this was, but I know this was my sophomore year of high school going into my junior year of high school. And I remember like hearing about him getting shot. And one of my friends knew him, and I was like, wait, are me and you talking about the same person? And she started explaining him. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is him. So me being me, I was like, hey, let me speak to him. Let me see how he's doing or whatever. Got on the phone. We spoke or whatever. Eventually we like spoke every day. Fast forward to 2014, he and I made it official. So now I'm in my freshman year of college, and we just kicking it. That whole first year that we were together, great. It was everything, like rainbows, butterflies, everything. Like everything was great that first year. But the second year is when I noticed that he started to change and started to have like this nasty attitude and nasty mouth.
That's why I tell y'all every time, bro. And you know what? I don't know, y'all. I'm kind of scarred. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because like I really like the vetting stage. When I meet a woman, man, the vetting stage is like it's a real process for me. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, now in 2026, man, you meet a motherfucker and y'all skip getting in a relationship and y'all y'all go from meeting a motherfucker to straight to have a baby. Motherfucker don't even be in a relationship, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? You gotta the vetting process is it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not gonna say I put all my trust in somebody 6 months or a year, or I think I got somebody figured out in 6 months, in a year, and all that. Like, nah, bro. I think this type of shit takes time for you to really see who a person really is, and you got to go through some things. There got to be a couple of arguments. There got to be a couple of little situations that you go through before you really get to see, you know what I'm saying, who a person really is. So, you know, by her just saying, you know, after a year, her baby daddy started acting up, like, that's when I be saying, man, like, we gotta take our time with this baby girl. I gotta see who you really are. You know what I'm saying? I be on that type of shit. You know, I ain't really so quick to just jump into nothing. I'm trying to see what's going on. You feel me?
So within that second year of us being together, I noticed that he would slam doors. He would punch holes in the wall. He would cuss his mama out, like really cuss his
God
mama out.
damn.
Okay.
Really?
And me being
Now I'm gonna tell y'all, if he's cussing his mother out, he will knock you the fuck out. Okay. I'm gonna repeat myself. If he's cussing his mother out, he will knock you the fuck out. So I already know by her telling us this that he was abusive. You know what I mean? So y'all gotta keep, like, that's why I'm saying, like, you gotta give it some time. You gotta see if motherfuckers gonna be hitting the walls, and motherfucker, you make the goddamn girl mad, she slashing your tires. Like, you just gotta see. You feel me? You gotta some time gotta go past. Y'all be so quick to jump into shit quick. Goddamn. Relax yourself.
me not having that many friends, me not having you know, women in my life to tell me, hey, that's a red flag, me not having a man in my life or men in my life to tell me, yo, like, this ain't it. I didn't.
She said her dad was trash, and her baby daddy didn't want her having any male friends, so she had to let go of her male friends she had at the time. Okay. Sorry, y'all. My mom. That's my mom in the background. Y'all know I'm still out of town.
No, I didn't know that those were red flags because technically this is like my very first ever relationship. Yes, I had, you know, puppy love relationships like in middle school, whatever. Like, those weren't important, but this was like my first relationship. And I didn't know that any of those things were red flags. So, of course, I just stayed within a relationship. And I believe maybe the year after that, so like probably the third year, he started to get abusive. So
There we go.
he would just like start yelling at me, cussing me out. And then he just like, you know, just started like actually getting physically.
I'm not gonna lie though. I'm surprised it took him 3 years though. You know what I mean? Cause god dang man, you cussing your mom out, bro. Come on, bro. Like,
Abusive. And I remember that the person who I was friends with at that time, she was like, it's either me or him. At that point, I was like, him, duh. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't say it right then, but it was just the action that happened that showed like, yeah, I'm gonna choose him over you. Because what had happened was that she ended up calling the police. They filed a report. I was so scared. I didn't want to give his name. I didn't want to give his real name because I was scared because he was just like that abusive, because he has threatened my life multiple times and I didn't want to give his name away. So then, like, I had promised my friend that I would like stay away from him, whatever. Her and I ended up like falling out around that time, and then of course went back to him. And so then things started going smooth again, right? And from there, it was like, okay, cool, whatever. So the whole entire relationship, we were on and off for like about roughly 5-6 years, something like that, right? And then 2019 came. Then I had my daughter, and I had her April 2019. That December, so December 2019, I tried to like make the relationship work again because I really wanted us to be a family. I've always said that I wanted to be married. And at that time, I thought things were going to be different. Fast forward to February 2020, this happens.
Oh man.
He abused me again. He put his hands on me again. And when this happened, he he basically he basically put his hands on me because I was late from picking him up from court. Because mind you, I literally had to pick him up from the courthouse because he said he just beat 3 cases, whatever they were. I don't even know at this point. I don't even know what they were, but his brother did tell me it was actually 13 charges and not 3. Still to this day, I don't know what they were. I don't know, but he was upset because I picked him up late. Reason why I was running late, I was changing.
My nigga, you should be happy you just beat 13 cases. Like, what?
Baby girl's diaper. She had a poopy explosion, and I let him know like, hey, I'm gonna be late, but he didn't want to hear that. So yeah, yeah, he took a swing at me, and he punched me in the eye. Until this day, like, I still have this right here in my eye. And my daughter has recently been asking me, mommy, what's in your eye? Why is that in your eye? And I'm like, oh, somebody hit me. And she's like, who is it? Was it a girl or boy? I'm like, it was a boy. And she was like, oh, who is it? So I can go and kick them. And I just started laughing, and I'm like, when you get older, I'll let you know who it was, how it happened. And yeah, so that's that part. And the lie that I had to tell my parents was that I was in a food stamp line, and these 2 men were arguing over something, and a fight broke out, and one of them just nudged me with their elbow. So that's what happened. That's the lie that I told my mom. So boom, he got locked up for like, I don't know, 2 days. Then they released him because I refused to press charges because I was so scared. Because when I tell you, this man would say, oh, I'm going to come to your house and Swiss cheese anybody who opens up that door. It was serious. Like, I got in multiple threats from this man, and I was just like so scared. So from then on, like, I just didn't speak to him anymore. Now, fast forward, my daughter's now 4. And at this time, let me go back. When my daughter turned 2, he got locked up. He got locked up for doing some jouet in Miami. U.S. Marshal picked him up, and he was gone. He was out of here. And I, like, at that point, I felt like I could breathe crisp, fresh air again, right? So fast forward, now my daughter is 4. He's still locked up. Somehow, some way, I ended up finding out that my daughter has 2 other brothers, one older than her, one younger than her. And the one who's older than her is actually 2 months older than her.
Well, I guess he ain't got nothing on my dad. I found out I had a brother 2 days younger than me. Oh, wait.
You grabbed your popcorn yet? Because it's about to get good. So now I'm finding out that he has 2 other children outside of my daughter. Because I'm thinking I'm the only BM whole time. This man was just slipping and sliding in anything and everything, right? So So how I found out was because he would call me from jail and he'll be like, oh, I got something to tell you. And I'm like, what? You cheated on me? You had another baby? What is it? And he'll be like, no, that's not it. Till eventually, like one day, I just went to go drop off my daughter to her grandma's house. And I saw her uncle there. And him and I, we were just, chatting it up or whatever. And it was just a random woman who pulled up with her own child. And she said, hey, where your mom at? Something grandson. I said, grandson? This your BM? And he was like, oh, Alex, like, yeah, I'm finna catch you later. All right. I'm just finna go ahead and catch you later. So now I'm walking past her car to go to mine, and I'm thinking to myself, is this her? Mind you, let me back up real quick. He kept telling me, no, he don't got a kid, no, he ain't cheat on me, da. Eventually, like, I did get it out of him, maybe months later, and I was like, what is it? Because you keep telling me you got something to tell me, but what is it? He's like, so she has a brother. And I'm like, okay, older or younger? He says younger. Okay. Keep that in mind. He says younger. So okay. I'm like, all right, well, how does this other BM look? Like, I need to speak to her. And he's like, oh yeah, she has like beautiful green eyes and curly, like, red hair. She's, light skin, and he's explaining a very beautiful woman. I'm like, wow, she sounds very, very pretty. And he was like, yeah, but you beautiful too. And I'm like, bye. So I'm just thinking to myself, right? I go home, then later that day I come and pick her up, and I speak to her grandma, and I'm like, yo, was that his other BM? And she was like, yeah, but that's none of my business. Oh, he should have been the one to tell you himself, yada yada yada. And I was like, yo, this nigga is a liar, because you just explained to me how this woman looks so beautiful, and she looked like,
I was just about to say, I'm like, she probably busted.
She was nothing. Again, okay, let me say this. There is nothing that I have against dark-skinned women. Dark skin is so beautiful, but listen to me. I'm just explaining how this woman looks. So she was a dark-skinned, heavy set. I'm a plus-size girl, but this girl was heavy. Okay? She was heavy. And eyes definitely were not green. They were probably darker than my eyes. And her hair was probably shorter than mine. Like, I was just like, wow.
My boy tried to put hella cap on it.
Like, they really be, slipping and sliding anything and everything. So then, at this point, I'm speaking to my daughter's uncle, and I'm like, yo, slide my number to her, because I need to have a chat. With her. Like, I need to speak to this woman. Okay? So he ends up giving her my number. She calls me. I don't know, maybe a couple days later, we end up meeting up at my daughter's grandma's house. So we end up meeting there, and this girl is in tears. She's in tears. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe that, he did XYZ to me. I could only imagine what he did to you. And I'm asking her questions, and I'm like, so when did you guys start dating? When were you guys together? And she's telling me the dates. And I'm like, but at that time I was with him. And she was like, yeah, I know. And I'm the one who helped take care of your daughter. Oh, all the clothes that he got her, I was the one who ended up getting it for her. Oh, do you remember that time in Christmas?
Oh, she knew. Okay.
And he said that he got her the little red remote control Mercedes. That was me. And I said, oh, so you my baby daddy. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all, like, she told me that there was one time where I thought my daughter was with her dad. She had her Mind you, I knew nothing about this lady. I didn't know that she existed, no nothing. So the fact that he had her, I mean, she had my daughter, and my daughter was like maybe 1, 2 months old at this time. When I
And she just told us when she started her whole story on what happened with her when she was 1 years old. So that's why I'm like, man, when a child is super young, man, I personally think don't nobody need to be watching the baby for real, because you just never know until they old enough to speak and tell you and communicate, and you know what I'm saying. You gotta make sure you tell your kids, hey, let us know, like, if anybody do this, da da da. You get what I'm saying? But that's crazy. The baby daddy, he just, I guess he felt like he can trust the girl because he was fucking her, but nah, man, that's not that girl baby. She might feel some type of way about her mom and take it out on the baby, anything. Like,
tell
she already knew, like, that she was watching somebody else's baby. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? She not saying that she did, but I'm just saying she could have. You know what I'm saying?
y'all, I was just like, give me a second. I went outside and y'all, I lost it. I cried. I was so angry. I was so pissed because I was like, I don't even know your intentions. I don't know who you are, but you want to be the side hole. You want to be the side hole.
Side hole?
Because you
Holy.
knew about me. You knew that I just had a baby.
Yeah.
And then what makes it worse is that now you're telling me that he has another baby mama. And I'm like, oh, he has another one that's not either you or me. And she's like, yeah.
Damn.
And that child is older than your child. And that child was born in February 2019.
Damn. She
2
cool
months
with
older
being
than
this.
your daughter.
Yo.
Oh.
Yo, this girl who telling her about this, she cool with being the side hole. I ain't never heard that one before, the side hole. Holy.
So now you can imagine how heavy all this news is to me, because I'm just not finding out in one day that this man has cheated on me, had 2 kids, okay, outside of me, and one of the baby mamas was watching my kid. Like, when I tell y'all, I was y'all, that day was tough. And then his mama in the background, oh, why y'all having this meeting? Oh, he's not even here to defend himself. Girl, shut up. Because you're the reason why your son is the way that he is now. A cheater, a liar, a manipulator, an abuser. Like, he was just cussing you out. Like, come on now. Like, be for real. And y'all, I kid you not, till this day, it's still like, my mind is still trying to figure out how everything is going to play out once this man does come out of prison, because he doesn't know who I am today. I don't know who he is. My mind is on, okay, he's the same type of person. He's the same. He's not changing. But like, I am sharing this story because I know that there's probably somebody who's out there that feels like, dang man, like, I done been through this. I done been through baby daddy. I done been through baby mama drama. I done been through XYZ. I've been abused. And I'm just putting it out there to let you know that you are not alone. I am, just a girl as you are. And it's okay. Like, it's okay, because it was super hard for me to even get out of that situation too, But like, no, that last time that he put his hands on me, I definitely was out of there, right? But a lot of women, it takes them longer to get out of these kind of situations. And I just want to let you know that it is okay. Speak to somebody, go to therapy. Jesus and therapy is the motto, okay? Keep Jesus in your life. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. Therapy will definitely help you. Even if you don't have, somebody to speak to, like, just go to therapy. But like, you are strong, and you will get through this, and you can do this. And your past does not define you. Whatever you're going through now, it's not defining you. The Lord has purpose on your life for a reason. And me even putting all this out there was super hard for me to even put out, because I like my privacy. I don't like people knowing things about me, right? because I do have family members that follow me on here. I do have coworkers that follow me on here, and I don't want to be putting my business out there, but I felt as though I would be disobeying the Lord if I did not put this story out there. So I'm putting this out there for you, whomever it is. If it's just one person, if it's 10 people, like I just want you to know that it is okay. You're not alone. God loves you. Jesus loves you. And
All right. Yeah, hopefully the baby daddy, you know what I'm saying, have his act together, and you know what I'm saying, and he want to be a part of his daughter's life, and he can help out in his daughter's life when he get out of jail. As far as the um she just went through a lot, man. She went through a lot. My heart goes out to her. You know what I'm saying? From when she was young to her dad issues to her baby daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? But like she said, there was no one there to show her the signs. So that's why I think it's important for y'all to listen to me and all the tips that I give y'all. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can avoid these type of situations. You know what I'm saying? But for real though, so we can learn. You know what I'm saying? So we can learn from others' mistakes and you know what I'm saying, move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. Make sure y'all smash that like button. My heart goes out to her. I wish her nothing but the best, her and her daughter. And yep, I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. And I will catch y'all on the next one. All right, make sure y'all follow all Storytime channels. We Still Hustle Daily. We Still Hustle Daily 2 and Still Hustle Daily. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.